Hello, welcome. We are going to be continuing our series in summary of JavaScript so that we can head on to our Node.js and other very important aspects of this training. So today we're going to be looking at conditionals and looping. If you're going to be telling your program that if this person is having the actual login credential, the person should be logged in. If it's not, it shouldn't. So you are going to be making some statements using conditionals, and you're always going to loop through. If you want to attribute something, you want to attribute only one or all of them in the database, you're going to be able to loop through and do same thing to all the data in the database or even in your UI. So you're going to be doing a whole lot of using of conditionals and looping, and we're going to quickly look at what these conditionals are. And in that, we are talking about the if statement, the if else statement, the switch statements. You're going to be using a whole lot of them when you're writing your code. So summarily, like I told us, the material I'm using from one of the tutors on YouTube, the repentance, and we're going to just look at these codes, and so that when we start using them in the actual work, it will not be difficult for us. So relational operators, we have double equal to if you are considering two things that are equal, not equal when they are not equal. If you're asking if this password is equal to the password that is given, or if this password is not equal to the password that is given, then do what you want to happen. So this is the equal to. If you want to ascertain whether the two things are equal, this is not equal to, this is greater than. If the length of this character is greater than this one, what am I expected to do? This is greater, this is less than, this is greater than or equal to, and this is less than or equal to. We're going to be using them and you will understand them much better. And this is equal to both in terms of the value and the type. You use this triple equal to sign. Then you have the logical operators like the and. If you want to use and, it has to be two ampersands. And you also have not, which this is supposed to be straight actually, and not, you understand. So we are gonna move down. You have var age equal to 8. I want to demonstrate the if statement. If is one major conditional statement. These are operators, the relational operators and logical operators, but you now use them whenever you want to make the if statement, and that's why we're having if age is greater than or equal to 5. You see, so we are using this relational operator, greater than or equal to 5, and as well age is less than or equal to 6, so it has to be greater than 5 and less than 6. You understand? So it's either 5 or 6. So if this is the situation, what do you want to happen? You have document.write go to kindergarten. So if the age supplied is between 5 and 6, this is what will be attributed. You go to kindergarten, and now we're having 8, so that is not going to happen. So the variable, the age is 8, so it's not between 5 and 6, or it's neither 5 nor 6. So now if you want to check another condition, this is known as condition, and that's why we call it conditional. If you want to take another condition, you can say else if age is greater than 18, document.write go to college. Is the age greater than 18? No, this is 8. 8 is not greater than 18, so this is not going to attribute. Then another one, say else if you have up to 3, if you have more than 3 conditions, you have to keep repeating else if, but if that's the end, you just put else, document.write go to grade age minus 5. So you are going to see that this is going to be the one that will attribute, because this is most likely because these two conditions are not met, it's going to be this. So it's going to simply be age minus 5, which is 5 minus 3. So it will attribute go to grade 5 minus 8 minus 5, which is 3. So go to grade 3, that will be the attribute. So this one will have document.write true or false. So this is how you put all. This is simply all. So you can always run any of these codes in your browser and see what they. Make sure you put the script tag, the HTML and body tag, then script tag. You run them so that you see what the output looks like. Is document.write not true. So when it's not true, you know it's going to be false. So this is when you want to, if you want to escape something, if you are using escape characters, then you have to have this slash. Now we'll talk about switch statements, which is used to match limited number of options if your options are limited. And this is how you basically write a switch statement. So take note of how you write this. You say if you put the condition, then in curly brackets you write what you want to happen if the condition is met. But if you're using switch statement, you have switch, you put what you are looking at, then you state the conditions. Case 5, case 6. If the condition is actually fitting in case 5 and case 6, what do you want to happen? You want document right to attribute go to kindergarten. Now if it is case 7, that is what is happening, the condition that is met, then you want document right to attribute go to first grade. Then you have your break. Always put break after putting the work that you need to be done after the conditions are met. Then if none of these conditions are met, then you have the default. So take note of the structure of this very code, because that is what is going to matter when you're using them. I have ternary operators, which are operators that assign a value based on condition. So you have your condition, then you put this ternary operator. If it is true, the first one will happen. If it is false, the second one will happen. So let's say you have a variable can I vote equal to age. So you want to, anything that happens, you want to assign it to this variable. So if age is greater than or equal to 18, if it is true, you understand, then you're gonna have true assigned to this. But if it is false, then you're gonna have false assigned to this. You understand? So basically, if this condition is met, this first one is assigned. If this condition is not met, the second one, which is the false, is assigned. So document.write can I vote, then can I vote will give you the right one, which should be age is greater than or equals to 18, whether it's true or false, the age that is given. Now we look at looping. Looping is when you want something to be done to several variables, the same thing. So loops actually happens as long as a condition is true. So you say let's the initial value of I to be equal to 1. So it's saying that while this is the while loop, while I is less than or equal to 10, I want this to keep happening. So I want document.write to attribute the value of I and put comma. Then after that first one, you should increment the I. So I'm going to be having, since the initial value of I is 1, we're going to be having 1, 2, 3, 4 until it's less than or equal to 10, until 10. So this is how you do that. So you want to attribute from 1 to 10. So you want to keep doing the same thing from when the value of I, the variable, is 1 to when it's up to 10. So look at the structure. You have to first declare and initialize the variable that you want to use. Then you put the while statement, put the condition, then what you want happen. Now document.write break. Now if you want to put break as when you're done writing the codes. So apart from the while, you have the do while. The do while is used when you must go through the loop at least once. So this one, for you to go through the loop, the condition must be met. But if you're using do while, then you have to go through the loop once before even you check the condition. So that's why we have here var guess equal to prompt guess a number between 1 to 20. So this must happen even before you start checking the condition, and the condition simply say why guess is not equal to 15. So once you pick a number that is not equal to 15, it can keep guessing. So once that happened, alert, you guessed it, 15 was the number. So you keep guessing until you get to 15 and you stop. Now you also have another loop known as for loop. For is a self-contained loop structure, and this is how you basically write the for loop. You say for the variable equal to 0, that's the initial value of the variable, then j less than or equal to 20, that's the extreme end, the place you want to get to and stop. Then you increment the variable by 1 at every instant until you get to 20. So now you say if j is divisible by 2, then skip back to the top of the loop. So that's what this is. You can actually combine for with the if in order to, when we'll be writing algorithms, we'll be using this more often, and you understand it much better. So if j is if when you divide j by 2, the remainder is equal to 0, that means you're looking for an even number. Then continue. So now we have, if j is equal to 15, break completely out of the loop. If j is equal to 15, then you break out of the loop, and then document.write the values of the j that you have. Document.write break. You always break so that your code will look much better. So yeah, we have variable customer, and this customer is having the details of a given customer, the name of Thomas, address 123 main, and balance of 550. Now you want to do something to this kind of object. It's good you use the for loop, and that's what is being demonstrated here. For this, for in cycles through an enumerable property of an object. So you say for this, for in is advanced form of for, and it cycles through enumerable properties of an object. So this is an object. Whenever you have something in curly brace like this, and you have it declared in form of a variable, call it object, because it has the properties of an object. You can see this is the name, is the address of a given person, and the balance. So if you want to cycle through these properties like the name, address, balance, you use the for in. So, and that's why we have for k. You just assume any variable name. K in customer. Customer is the name of the object. Document.write customer k simply means that document should output all the properties in this customer. Now we look at arrays. Arrays have variable sizes and can contain multiple types. In JavaScript, in other programming languages, mostly you have arrays containing only one particular data type. If it's going to be string, it's going to be all string. If it's number, integer, and all the rest, it's going to be them completely. But in JavaScript, array can actually contain a combination of strings and numbers, and that's what we're going to be seeing here. You have a variable declaring this array transmit. Whenever you want to show an array, it has to be in a block bracket like this. So you have a string transmit, you have another one 123 main, then you have a number 120.50. that's a float. So this is how you declare an array in JavaScript. There are other ways, but this is the most famous way. Then you have so you recognize an array whenever you have this block quotes. Then if you want to access the first item in the array, simply use this put the block brace, and inside it put 0 because array is 0 based in JavaScript and most other programming languages, 0 based. So when you document dot write out this, you will see first state transmit 0 is actually the first one, which is this transmit. So you have first state transmit. Now if you want to add an item to an array, simply put the index that here you have index 0 1 2. So you want to add another one, comma 3. So for the third one, this is how you put it. You say transmit, which is the name of the array, and you put 3 and put what you want to be there. So if you want to output this array again, this transmit array, you have transmit 123 main 120.50, and you're going to also have tsmit at aol.com, because you've added it by using this statement, by simply putting this block brace and putting the index where you want to put it, then you put the value. So that's how you get this down. Then if you want to overwrite index 2 and fit everything x after 2 without overwriting, then you have to put 0 for second parameter or not overwrite. So if you want to have to overwrite index of 2, this 1 2, this 1 2 3, I mean this 0 1 2, if you want to override this one and fit everything else after the index, this is what this is how you do it. You put the index you want to overwrite, then you now put every other thing after it. So that is how you write the code. Now if you want to delete the fourth index item, this is what you do. From c.splice, you use splice to delete. So you're deleting the fourth index item, and that is the only one that you're doing. Then if you want to convert an array to string, can use the toString, or you can also use the value of. So use toString. If you mention the array, you put dot toString. This is transmit dot toString, or you can use transmit dot value of. So you put the array, then the array will automatically be converted to string. If you're writing exams on this, you might be asked on some of these functions that you can use to manipulate arrays. Now you can convert an array into a string with separator. This is how you do it. Transmit or join. Use join to convert an array to string, but now you want separators to be put there. So you're going to be using all these operations when you're going deep down into JavaScript. So take note of them. If you want to delete an index, this I've already told us what index are. This, if this is an array, is the 0 index 1 2, so they are just the component, the elements of the array. So if you want to delete an index, you simply say delete transmit, then you put the index that represent the very value that you want to remove or delete. And you can sort an array in reverse, which we call reverse sort. So mostly also works for strings. You can simply say transmit, which is the name of the array, dot sort, sorts the array. You can also sort number like these variable numbers. So descending sort, you can return xy. If you put this argument, it will help the JavaScript to know how you want to sort. So if you want to sort in descending order, you have y minus x, and that's why we have this number.sort function xy, return x minus y, document.write num arrays num.toString, so that you put it back into string before you output it. Then you can combine arrays by simply saying one of the arrays, which is number.concat, the next array. So once you use the word concat or the function concat, you can combine two arrays. So you put the first array first, dot concat, then the second array. If you want to remove the last item in an array, use pop. So the array name dot pop with the brackets. If you want to add item to the end, use push. So pop and push, or to the end. Then if you're starting from the beginning, you have what we call shift. If you want to delete, use shift, but if you want to add, use on shift. That is first item. If you're coming from this side, the first items, so that is shift and on shift. Shift if you're taking out, if you're adding, use on shift. But if you're taking out from this other side, which is the end, you pop. If you want to get it back, you use push. So take note of that. And finally, we have for var starting from 0 and ending at the length of the array, and adding, always incrementing. That is how you write for loop. You always use for loop to cycle through arrays. Very, very important. So document.write transmit simply means that you should go through this array of transmit and output every element. So the elements of the array can be you can output them using the for loop. That's where we're going to be stopping. We've covered a whole lot. Please, I'm going to be uploading it to both my GitHub, and in the link that I gave us, there's this link that connects to this DevC training. This is where I'm arranging all the training so that it will be easier for you to access. So from when we started to now, then all the codes. So you can see all the codes here. You can simply click on any of them. Once you click on any of them, you can then right click and copy the source if that's how you want to get it. But I've also dropped the CS files so that you can get them properly. So if you right click and get the source, you can simply copy this, place it in your notepad or your Visual Studio Code, and it will run. So that is why I got this out for you. So I'm arranging the lectures in such a way that it will be easy. Once you get to this website, you can see Andela DevC software development. So this is where I'm arranging it so that it will be easier for you to access at any time, even after this lecture, if you want it to be a reference material for you to learn from when we started. So the website is simply jamwayeknecouni.com. So once you open the website, just get to this right pane, the first one, because that's what I'm currently working on, so that we can follow through and understand this better. So I'm going to be giving us lots of assignments. You remember today is our Q&A section. So all of us, if you have any problems with your HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, we are going to be treating them today, so that by next week we'll start with the exercises and the assignments in the open classroom, so that everybody will be on the same page. Thank you. God bless you.